There was another thing that was illegal in London. So, London theatres were closed in 1596 by the Church of England under the influence of the Puritans, who considered practically everything else that wasn't praying God explicitly immoral. But there was also the fear of the bubonic plague. Large gatherings of people in close proximity could spread, the disease. So, as a result of this, putting on plays literally was against the law in London during much of this period. Shakespeare had to dismantle his theatre board by board and rebuild it in Southwark. Shakespeare Theatre was called the Globe. It was a round building. Yes, Shakespeare called it the Wooden O. And like a stadium, it was in the open air in the middle with thatched roof around. One thing they didn't have was artificial lighting, so all productions took place in the afternoons. The inside of the theater probably looks similar to the picture you have in the photocopies. Inside, there was an elevated stage, a balcony above, and really the gallery over the back on the stage, where audience members could be seated, was part of the stage. There were also what they call flies. There was an area above the stage where a rope and a pulley could be set up so an actor could be lifted or hoisted up into the air so it looked like he was flying. There was also a trapdoor on the floor of the stage so that an actor could jump down to it and disappear or come out of it. Because there were scene battles and duels, they would have armor, blunted swords, stage blood, music, and sound effects. Now, to advertise the plays, they raised a colored flag to tell people across the river what kind of play they were going to put on stage. A white flag meant that they were putting on a comedy. A red flag meant a history play, and a black flag meant a tragedy. Of course, in the Groundlings were the poorer people who could go to the theater. They paid only 1 penny. Vendors would walk around then selling oranges, roasted hazelnuts, beer, and ale. And the Groundlings were particularly very active when the play was on stage, because they usually cheered when the hero entered, or they booed the bad guy, occasionally throwing apples or oranges at actors. Um, Shakespeare usually used some scenes, comical or comedic scenes, or battle scenes to interrupt the long talkings in the play. Of course, females' roles were played by adolescents who used to wear platform shoes and wigs, and apparently they wear a lot of makeup, yes, to make look like women. Remember that theater was considered crude and common, totally inappropriate for the supposedly more delicate sensibilities of women. In fact, middle and upper class women who merely attended these plays actually wore masks so that they wouldn't be recognized. Yes, so women were definitely not allowed to be on stage being looked at by strange men.